Hello everyone, welcome back. Today on my stand here, we have the engine out of my truck. This is a 351 Windsor. I'm not exactly sure on the year of this specific engine, but my truck is a 95. This was put in by the previous owner. We're going to take it apart today. This engine supposedly has 185,000 kilometers on it. We're going to take it apart, inspect its condition, and see if that's true or not. So first things first, I'm going to go about it and I'm going to take off all the vacuum lines and the electrical and just try and clean this motor up. So I've got the vacuum line here for our brake booster. We've got our vacuum tree up top here, which is just routed back into itself. So that's cool. This engine was running kind of weird when it was in the truck. I don't think that's any fault of its own. I think that's because of how it was installed. And this engine was pulled, obviously, because we're in the middle of an IDI swap on that truck. So right now I'm unplugging the vacuum lines from our smog solenoids. This truck had a weird half-done smog delete on it, and it's done this way so that you can avoid throwing codes. You just sort of undo your smog pump and then you block off your EGR and all your air inlet pipes, weld off the back on the crossover tube, and seal everything that Ford did to put air back into the exhaust. But you leave all your solenoids and all your electrical hooked up so that the computer still thinks everything's all fine and dandy, and you can trick it. There's a lot of messy routing on the electrical here. It's kind of neat how Ford did their little vacuum tree right here on the top of the intake. They also left some additional ports in there so that you can add things for whatever reason, or if you wanted to hook up a gauge to see vacuum, you could. There we go. So we're getting a little cleaner. This is all looped together here because I was diagnosing a vacuum leak on the truck because I was tired of how it was running, but we'll get rid of that. We don't need it anymore. You can see we have our EGR valve has been deleted off this motor and the tube welded up. Start working on some electrical here. I think we're gonna get our plug wires off and out of the way. So let's start that. When this truck came to me, it was running so bad because it was missing a plug wire. Let's get them all done. So always make sure when you buy a truck, you have all your plug wires. Otherwise they don't run very good. It's kind of important if you didn't know. There, we're looking a little cleaner there. Start doing the electrical on the back of the motor here. A couple grounds just chilling. We'll just cut those shorter for now so they're out of the way. Start unplugging our injectors. From the looks of it, oh, we got a little water temp sensor here. This side of our harness has been disconnected. It's routed here under this bracket, so I think I'm going to pull this bracket off. That's missing a bolt. So, that's neat. Now we can start working on this side. A wise man would pull this plenum off, and I think I might have to in order to get the rest of these injectors. Yeah. All right. Let's pull our throttle body off. Okay, we've just got our coolant line. Just like that. So next I say let's get this bracket here off. Then we got some 13 mils for our lower intake here. There's 5 13 mils. There's a secret Torx hidden back there we're going to get to eventually here. Oh, I got it with a T30. All right. Pull our intake off. So this is how Ford kind of did it back in the day here. Much like the 460 with that weird intake. We have this big long runnered intake with a lot of plenum volume. This was added to the trucks, and the idea behind it is that longer intake runners generate more torque. So that's how Ford did it on the 5 liters and the 5.8 liters. All right, let's finish getting our wiring harness off. All right. Here's our engine harness. All right, now what we're left with here is a pretty bare top of the motor. Oh yeah. Hey, let's get our AC compressor off. We've got 4 10 mils here for that. So sitting here is our alternator harness. I likely unplugged that from the start solenoid and draped it over the motor when I pulled it out. Oh, look at that, we got a 2-for-1. Looks like we got 1 10 mil there for our power wire. And off she comes. Looks like we have 3 13 mils for our alternator. Right, our last one here, and we'll catch our alternator. Let's get our front fan off. So we've got our 4 bolts down in here. Got a 7/16 for those boys. Okay, we're on our last one here. Okay, off comes our fan. And our water pump pulley comes right off too. This motor actually had a relatively new water pump. I believe it was put on, because you can look back and behind there, and we can see that the timing cover is the same color as the truck. So one thing I didn't do was this hose clamp here. That was sitting loose like that the whole time. I was one hose away from having no coolant in my motor, so that's a good thing to catch now, right when it doesn't matter. We might as well get these 2 hoses off. All right, let's get our lower water pump hose off, or lower rad hose, sorry. I'm fairly certain this is going to be dry because I pulled the hose in the truck to drain it. We'll see how accurate that is when we're got it off here. Well, that was half on there. That wasn't even fully on there. That was sitting like that. Always make sure your hoses are fully seated before you tighten the clamp up. There's a little coolant in there. All right, let's work on our accessory brackets. So looks like there's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts holding this guy onto the block, and they look like they're going to be 14s. Let's try my guess. Bang on. So this bracket's of course for both our AC compressor we just took off and our power steering pump, which I opted to keep with the truck for use with my new engine. So we got 3 10 mils up here. And this guy's just on the hub there. We can walk them off. And our pump should come off. Just like that. Now there's going to be 1, 2, 3 bolts. Got a bunch of 1/2-inch bolts all around it. So, funny story. I was missing a bolt on this water pump when this motor was in the truck. And I was wondering why my truck was leaking coolant. So I started investigating. I believe it was this bolt right here that it was missing on the timing cover. Anyways, so we found the bolt. It was sitting up here. We put it in, tightened it up, stopped our leak, and we kept driving. Yeah, we've got coolant coming out of that. Okay, we're on our last water pump bolt here. The bucket was kind of irrelevant. Down to our 4 bolts on our crankshaft pulley. They're 14 mils or 9/16. All right, the big old balancer, bane of my existence. We got about a 15/16, I'm guessing, for our crank bolt. And looks like a 15/16 is correct. Off she comes like butter with a puller. Look at that nice clean timing cover, color matched to the truck. So we'll move on here and we'll get our passenger side exhaust manifold off. These are 14 mil. Inadvertently pull off our lifting eye here. Okay, last one. Okay, moment of truth. How was this motor running? Not bad. Nothing notable on that plug. Nothing bad on that one either. Pretty much all look the same. Oh, I don't like how this one's coming out. But he looks the same. I think there was just a little gunk in the threads there. All right, well we might as well grab our motor mount while we're here. And there's 2 bolts for that, 1 on each side. These look relatively new, and that would make sense considering this motor was swapped in. Can pull our dipstick out too. Well, these plugs look pretty decent. Obviously they're all old and not brand new, that's for sure. Let's get our 5/8 and get our motor mount off. All right, we're gonna take our distributor out. Just a 1/2 inch on the hold down here. Break it loose, undo it all the way. Off comes your hold down, and then we can pull out our distributor. Careful. It's driven off the cam through this gear here. All right, next we'll pull off our fuel rail up top here. Oh, I lied. Looks like we're going to pull off our coil bracket. And normally there'd be that third support right here, but we've taken that off already. So just our two 7/16 or 11 mils to the 8 mils located here and here. Now at this point, we should be able to just pull our injector rail off. Pulling and wiggling by each individual injector. We'll work it off. These guys are just held in there by O-rings. So that little green O-ring there. And then another little green O-ring on the bottom that holds it into the manifold. And there we go. Now we can pull all the injectors out just the same. These have been in there for a while. You don't have to abuse these to get them off. Got this little steel bar that goes across. Our wiring harness should have been on this. Mine wasn't. Again, this wasn't the original engine to the truck, so there might be things on it that aren't normal. So I'm going to take a quick second and I'm going to clean off this intake. Alrighty, so now with the intake a little cleaner, we're going to come in here and undo it. Now with all our dirty, yucky intake bolts out, we're going to pry off this intake. Oh, well that didn't take much. I wonder if those seals are alright, or gaskets rather. Because this motor was running with what seemed to be a bit of a vacuum leak. Wouldn't surprise me if these intake gaskets were gone. So let's take a look here. We can see, oh, that's neat. Right all in here, there's broken, damaged gasket. Well, I'll give it the benefit of the doubt. That could have been me pulling it off. The rest of our and you can tell if it's sealing good because you'll see the outline of the manifold. And that outline means that there's even pressure along all of it. I mean, we have no gasket material from about here all the way down to here. So there's a strong chance that was leaking pretty bad and that was my issue. So now we're gonna pull our valve covers off. These are an 11 mil. If you've never torn down the engine from your own vehicle before, I strongly recommend it. It's a sense of thrill to see what was in there the whole time you were driving it. So let's get this cover off. And we can see it's relatively clean in there. There's not a lot of sludge or slime. I, so far, have no reason to believe that this motor doesn't have 185 on it. I think we'll come along to the other side and we'll do our other valve cover. Much like the other side, I mean actually this side's cleaner. We do have, well, maybe not. There's no way this is factory. I think these might be factory gaskets. I'm going off the fact that they're blue and have no markings on them. Don't quote me on that. Oh, all our push rods look to be straight. All right, it's time to pull our cylinder heads off. All right, so before we take the cylinder heads off, we're gonna take our rockers off. Righty, and now we can pull out our push rods too. Now we can pull our cylinder head off. It looks like here we have 4 head bolts per cylinder. Alright, so to catch the mess, because we might have coolant and maybe a little bit of oil coming out, I've got my pan underneath. And right now I'm going to take my pry bar and I'm going to put it in an intake runner here. And I'm going to have my hand right here. And these heads are light enough to where if I pull on this, and even if it did pop off the dowels, we can catch it. Just like that. And off comes our cylinder head. We got a little bit of coolant in here, but I think that's just from just now. So we'll get our rockers and push rods off of this side. Nice push rods. We'll remove our head bolts. Okay, now just like we did before, pop it loose. Only got a little bit of coolant on us. And then off we are. There we go. So now we can see we have a bare short block. It doesn't look like our lifters are going to want to come up this way. I think we're going to have to push them back down through after we get the camshaft out. And that's all right. So now we're ready to spin the motor over and get our oil pan off. All right, so now we're getting ready to flip it over. We're going to have coolant and oil come out, so be prepared for the mess. All right, we didn't make too much of a mess. Now we can take the time to get our oil pan off. The majority of these, it's absolutely no wonder why this thing was leaking everywhere, because all these are loose. Okay, we got some tight ones over there. So there's 4 13 mils, and the rest are supposed to all be 10s, but it looks like I have a 7/16 right here, or an 11 mil. There we go, there's our 11 mil. Now we can finish everything up with our 10. All right, yeah, let's get our little plates off, or try to at least. There we go. Okay, so now I think I'd really like to get our timing cover off. We're gonna come in with a 13 mil, take off our last few bolts here. Well, that looks to be everything. Oh, of course, I lied. I left a couple underneath there. There we go. That's a little better. We got our 1 cam gear bolt there. Looks to be a 14 mil. There's our timing set. We have 2 7/16 bolts on our camshaft retainer plate. Now, we should be able to pull our camshaft out very carefully. Matter of fact, I'm going to use our camshaft bolt here as a nice little spot to grab. Our lifters might be bothering us. We know they won't come out the bottom, but they'll move. Now we can carefully pull it out. There we go. There's our camshaft. Let's get our oil pump and pickup off. We can pull our pump and our pickup off, and the oil pump drive comes out with it. So now we can pull our pistons out. I'm going to pull the cap off, and then I'm going to push it down by hand as far as it'll go. Then I'm going to shove a rag, ideally down in that bore. If I can't see what I'm doing, then neither can you. There's some pretty gnarly bearing wear on this one. Let's get our crank journals off. Oh, there's some excessive bearing wear there. A lot of copper and a lot of grooves showing in this one. Final one here. We have massive bearing damage there too. Big grooves. So now that the caps are out of the way, we can go ahead and lift the crank out. Oh, that guy comes. Now we can get all our lifters out too. We can just calmly push them up. Got a couple rod bearings down here. They're just in the same crappy shape. Let's see if we can get this oil filter off with just our bare hands. Oh yeah, light work. And now with that, we have a stripped block. All right, everyone. Well, I hope you enjoyed this teardown of my personal engine. It's sad to see it go, but with all the wear in this thing, it was definitely due for a rebuild anyway. I, of course, am not going to be doing that. We've already started the IDI swap in this truck. So I hope you enjoyed. If you did enjoy, go ahead and leave a like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow and we post pretty regularly. Thank you very much again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.